This is a review, and I've tried to put it in the form of a broadcast clip. Broadcast and written news reports are structured differently because they assume different audiences with different needs. Broadcast audiences are listening or watching, which means they are less likely to go back and review material. There is more competition for attention. Broadcasters have to cut through this by being brief and to the point, by avoiding complicated contextualization and long quotations or clips. The rule is keep it simple, brief, and to the point. Print or written reporters have more leeway in exploring their stories. They can provide and should provide more detail and context because reading is more active and readers tend to be more engaged with the material. As you work on your rewrites, transforming your written news story into a broadcast story, you will need to keep these differences in mind, in particular the needs of the audience. I want you to review the material in the textbook, chapter 13. Keep your leads short. Avoid including too much information. Read them aloud and ask yourself if they are easy to follow and if they contain the most important pieces of information. So remember the fire story from earlier this month. A good print lead would have included multiple details: deaths, injuries, location, time, possibly the residents' complaints about the landlord. Here's an example. 2 tenants were killed and a third injured in a fire Tuesday on Handy Street in New Brunswick, in a building tenants say was not maintained despite repeated complaints to the landlord and the city. That would then be followed by a nut graph that names the dead and injured, summarizes the complaints from tenants, lists any summonses, and provides a comment from the landlord. It would then offer a chronology and more detail. A broadcast lead would pare this back dramatically. A New Brunswick fire Tuesday morning has claimed the lives of 2 tenants. It would be followed with more specifics: names, location, then something short about the fire itself, how long it burned, for instance, and then complaints from tenants. As the textbook notes, there are 2 basic approaches. The pyramid, which differs from the inverted pyramid in print by expanding the store of information as the story moves forward. And the other approach, the wine glass, which focuses on emotional impact more than it does purely on information. So the fire story, if you were to use the wine glass format, might open this way. A pregnant woman and her young daughter were killed in a Tuesday fire in New Brunswick. Again, both are short, both avoid inundating the reader with too much information, and both allow for the expansion of the information as the news report moves forward. However you choose to approach this story, you want to strive for immediacy, you want to keep your sentences and words simple, and you want to keep your listener's attention span in mind.